This section is all about our last geometry manager, which is Place. We will start with the overview of Place Geometry Manager, where we will understand what is Place Geometry Manager and how to use it. And then we will explore the options available in Place Geometry Manager. After that, I will create an application where I will add all the widgets using Place Geometry Manager. In the end, we will discuss some supportive methods or functions associated with Place Geometry Manager. Place Geometry Manager positions the widget on the application using X and Y axis. It provides the highest accuracy of widget placement when compared to pack and grid. Place Geometry Manager allows to set static or dynamic widget placement on the application window. So this is the syntax of Place Geometry Manager, wherein you have to provide the name of the widget followed by dot and then place as a keyword, and inside that you have to mention the X and Y coordinates. So X is the horizontal position, whereas Y is the vertical position. So if you have mentioned X is equal to 20 over here, that means the starting position for the widget will be 20 pixels. Now if you are adding a 20 pixels for the Y as well, that means, so this is going to be the starting point for the widget. Similar thing happens with all the widgets in this form. So these are the options that can be used while creating a Place Geometry Manager. In the previous slide, we discussed about X and Y positions. So X and Y are the static positions. So like in this application, I have used X and Y positions. So if I will stretch the application size, the position of the widgets will be fixed. They won't move with the movement in the size of the window. Whereas relative X and relative Y positions allows us to position the widgets dynamically. For example, in this application, we have positioned each widget using the REL X and REL Y position. So if I will change the size of the window, you can see that the widgets are also adjusting themselves accordingly. So here you can see that REL X and REL Y. So 0.1, you can provide the value for RELX from 0 to 1. So you can provide it 0.1, 0.2. So 0.1 is this position, 0.2 will be this position, 0.3 will be this position, and so on. Whereas RELY, 0.3 is this position, 0.4 is this position, 0.2 is this position, 0.1 is this position, and so on. Anchor allows us to position the widget on the screen depending upon the directions. So the available options are north, northeast, east, and so on. So you can type anchor equals to, and you can mention any one of the options out of these. Width is the amount of space allowed to the widget in the horizontal space, whereas height is the amount of space allotted to the widget in the vertical space. So for example, if you are creating a container widget like frame, then if you won't provide width and height of that application, then it won't appear. Similar thing is with the relative width and relative height. If the application is dynamic, that means if the size of the widget can be changed, if the size of the application can be changed, then instead of using width and height, use relative width and relative height so that it would adjust with the change in the size of the window. Border mode can be inside or outside or can be ignored. So border mode, I want to demonstrate it using the paint. So let's say this is the application. Inside border will be created inside the application. So this is how it will look like. Now, if you are going to place any widget on it, let's say we have provided the X and Y value as 2020. So the application should appear somewhere here. And this size, the counting of 20 will start from here. Whereas if the border is outside, then it will look something like this. And now if you will assign a widget and you will give it 20 pixels, then that will be counted from the place where the window actually starts. So although you are not able to understand the difference over here right now, but there will be a difference. This application will look more far than this one. This one will appear closer to the window, but this will appear more far to the window. In this section, I will create this application and I will position each widget using Place Geometry Manager. So this is my VS Code editor and I have already written the code for the same. I will explain the code line by line. First of all, I have imported everything from Tkinter in the first line. After that, I have created an object for TK and I have named that object as WS, which stands for workspace. After that, I have started a main loop, which is an infinite loop that allows us to see the screen. And then I have created a title for the window, geometry, and assigned a background color to the window. Then I have created few default variables where I have stored the background, where I have stored the colors, which is the background color, foreground color, and the font information. So I will be using all of these whenever I will require in the program. Now first of all, I have created a label. So in the application you can see that we are placing these labels 1, 2, 3, 4, and the label is first name, last name, email, password. So I am creating 4 labels right now. Its name is first name, last name, email, and password. Font is F, which we have defined over here. Foreground color is the one that is mentioned over here and the background color is here. And dot place x is equal to 20 and y is equal to 20. That means this is going to be a static placement. That means the widget is going to be placed as static, which means even if we will change the size of a window, the widgets will remain at its place. It won't change. So all of there everywhere we have used X and Y for now. And after placing the label, I have placed an entry box. These are the entry boxes where user can provide input. So I have positioned the entry box on the WS, that is a parent window, and then the font that we have declared on the in the line number 8, and then the foreground color, which means the color of the text, and then place 150. So earlier we have provided 20. That means the application distance from the window was 20 pixels. Now it is 150 pixels. So here you can see that this distance is 150. And in the next entry widget, I have kept the same information, which is x is equal to 150, because I want all of them in a same line. So that's why 150, 150, 150. And the value for y is changing because the position of first entry widget is over here at 20 pixels. The other one is having a gap of 40. That means it becomes 20 plus 40 is equal to 60. So the gap is total 60. Then y is equal to 100. That means again there is a difference of 40. So 60 plus 40 is equal to 100. So this is the distance of 40 pixels. Now we have placed a button. So button, we have provided the WS, which is the parent window, then text submit, which you are seeing right over here. Then foreground color is the text color, the light blue color. Background color is blue, dark blue, you can say that. And then pad Y is used to add a space vertically. So you can see that button on these. Above the submit and below the submit there is a space, so that is created using a pad Y. And then the pad X is 20, so 20 means the space in the right and left direction of the submit text is created using a pad X. Command for now is none, but you can take this project and you can add any function to that, and whatever function you will create, just mention it over here so that whenever the button is clicked, that function is triggered. We have used placed here, so place x is equal to 50. That means this distance is 50, and y is equal to 230. That means the vertical distance is 230. And then anchor is W. W means west, so it is aligned to the west direction. So this is the west direction. Next button is also aligned to the west direction, and it also have a same wide value. 230 to 30 because we want it into a same orientation, and the value of x is changed. Earlier it was 50, now it is 170, so there is a difference of 120. So this is 230 pixels. Similar thing is done with the last button as well. Last button we have created a destroy function. That means If you will click on this exit button, the application will be closed. So this is how we have created this application. So this was the demonstration for the static application using place. So if I am just increasing the size of this application, you can see that the widgets are not moving from their place. I have created the same application using dynamic approach as well. So you can see that this application looks similar to the one that you have seen few seconds ago. But the change is, if I will stretch this application, all the widgets are changing their position. So this thing can be done by using a relative positions. So here you can see that earlier I have used X and Y positions. Here I have used rel X and rel Y positions. Using these relative positions, I am able to adjust my application even when I am changing the size. Our last section is all about the supportive functions associated with Place Geometry Manager. So there are 4 methods that we can use to add more functionality to our software. Place Configure is used to change the value of Place Geometry Manager during runtime. You can change any option using the Place Configure. Place Forget is used to destroy or delete the Place Geometry Manager. Place Info returns the list of all the options and their current values. Place Slave returns this list of all the child widgets associated with that particular widget. For example, if you are using a frame and inside that frame you have added 3 other widgets, that means it will display the names of all those widgets. So I have created this application in which I have used all of these 4 functions. So here, let me run the program. So this is the label which says, "Hi, welcome to Python Guides." And then there are 4 buttons. Out of 4 buttons, last button is stored inside a frame container. So first of all, we will go with the configure. So as soon as I will click on the configure button, it will change the position of it. Right now it is using X and Y. But the moment I will click on configure, it will start using the relative position. Right now you can see that even if I am adjusting the size of the window, nothing is happening. All the widgets are at a static position. Now when I have clicked on the configure button, you can see a slight movement in the label. Also, if I will click on this label is moving. Our second option is, before I go with this destroy text, let me go ahead and click on the info one. So info will print the information. So at the bottom on the console, you can see that these all are the information being displayed. So X is 90. So all this information is related to label only. Now let me go ahead and click on the destroy text. Destroy text will delete this entire widget. So as soon as I clicked on it, the label has been destroyed. And now if I will click on info button, you can see that it will return us empty dictionary or empty list. Last option is show slaves. If I click on that, you can see that it is returning a button. So what we have done over here, this is the one you are seeing right over here, is a frame, and inside that frame we have placed one button with the name show slaves. So that is why it is returning one button. If I will add more widgets over here and click on the same button, it will return few more widgets. Now let's go ahead and see the code. So what I did in this code, I have imported everything, and then I have created an object, provided geometry and title and background color. I have started the main loop. Then I have created buttons, and I have used place for all of them. And inside the place I have used X and Y positions. That means it is static. And over here I have created a frame, and I have provided height and width to that. After that I have placed it using X and Y position. Inside that frame I have put a button in it, and for the button the command is show slaves, and this is the function that I have created over here. So inside that I have mentioned print frame.place slaves. So this is the name of the function. In this function show info, when the button will be clicked, label.place info. So information that you are seeing right over here on the terminal, this information is being displayed due to this function, which is being triggered on this button with the name info. For the configure options, I have used it on the widget name, which is lbl, that is label dot place underscore configure, and instead of X and Y I have this time mentioned the relative positions. So that's why it has changed into a relative positions. This one place underscore forget is to delete the. With this we have completed this section on Place Geometry Manager. In the next section we will compare all the 3 geometry managers.